Star-Spangled Banner. In 1892, the flag inspired Francis Bellamy to write the Pledge of Allegiance, our most famous flag song and patriotic oath. In July 1969, the American flag was flown in space when Neil Armstrong planted it on the surface of the moon. Today, our flag flies on constellations of Air Force satellites that circle our globe, and on the thin flash of our aircraft in arm's way in every corner of the world. Indeed, it flies in the heart of every airman who serves our great nation. The sun never sets on our U.S. Air Force, nor on the flag we so proudly cherish. Since 1776, no generation of Americans has been spared the responsibility of defending freedom. Today's airmen remain committed to preserving the freedom that others want for us, for generations to come. By displaying the flag and giving it a distinctive fold, we show respect to the flag and express our gratitude to those individuals who fought and continue to fight for freedom, at home and abroad. Since the dawn of the 20th century, airmen have proudly flown the flag in every major conflict in lands and skies around the world. It is their responsibility, our responsibility, to continue to protect and preserve the rights, privileges, and freedoms that we, as Americans, enjoy today. The United States flag represents who we are. It stands for the freedom we all share and the pride and patriotism we feel for our country. We cherish its legacy as a beacon of hope to one another. Long may it reign. Ladies and gentlemen, Senior Master Sergeant Janet M. Grier, United States Air Force, retired.
My brother-in-law, okay, so he said a lot of names of family members and everything. Let me first and foremost thank God for allowing me to have this 33 wonderful years. Because without him, there was no way that I could have done what I've done. So I just want to thank God for that. And my family, because like Jennifer said, you know, those days when Mom wasn't there, I know it was kind of rough. And that's why I'm teaching her how to cook. So I can go to her house and eat Thanksgiving dinner. Unfortunately, she decided to be a vegetarian, so she wouldn't have to make a rubbery turkey. So I got to get turkey. And my auntie, you know, I came out to her, and if everybody knows Philadelphia, you got your row homes, and I shared her, you know, row house with my sisters. And so when I came to see her, I said, so you in here by yourself? Oh, I get my own bedroom? And then she had a bathroom. I said, I don't have to share a bathroom? Oh. I said, okay. Mom, send all my clothes. I'm coming back. So I ended up staying there, and she said, well, if you're going to be here, you're either going to get a job, you're going to go to school, because education is so important to her. So I was there when she got hooded for her master's degree, and when she went on and got her doctorate, and so she, you know, you call her and you say, Dr. Florine Robinson, and she says it proudly, and I'm proud of her for coming that far in her education. And so here I am. I took a little class here, took a little class there, and finally got my bachelor's degree. She says the first one is always the hardest, and so Chief Sanders comes in. I just got my bachelor's 2000. I said, hey, I don't want a textbook. I'm going to go to Michael's and get me a cake decorating class. That's what I want to learn. So I did that. And then Chief Sanders, she says, come on, girl, it's time to do our master's. I was like, bachelor's was fine. And then here I was, and we got the classes at Central Michigan. They offered it here at Grier. And I took the class, and we'd go on the weekends. And her being active duty, me being AGR, my job was my job. I didn't have to deploy and go places, and she ended up having to deploy and things like that. So I kept on going, and I waited. I did, and so 2014, I got my master's degree. Jennifer is heading on behind me, and so she says, I said, okay, I'm gonna get it before you. So I did. And so she's working on her master's, and hopefully she's going to have her master's next year. So next month. Next month, yeah. Next month. Now, I started out like Colonel McMullen had said, when I got to Willow Grove, Sergeant Earhart, he was a very, very good first sergeant. So Temple had this big ad that they were hiring. You had to take the test and everything on the spot. So I said, I gotta go because they're hiring. I'm gonna work for Temple so I can go to school for free. So he said, you just go ahead. And I got down there, I did the typing test, got in, and they called him for an interview. They called him for a reference. I used his name. I don't know what he told him, but whatever he said, when I got to sign papers and they offered me the job, they said, whoever the guy was that you put on there for your reference, he said, he spoke so highly of you, we had to hire you. And so 18 years later, I was still at Temple and able to come on board and become an Air Reserve technician and work for the base. And I had the opportunity to work with Sergeant Hattie. When she came on board, she was right out of basic training. And so she's small, but she is tall in the way she works. And she is super. And so I enjoy working with her. And let's see, who else? My Denise. Denise, stand up. So, Denise LeVan Rapp. Oh. Our kids, and when we would have a drill weekend, we spent most of our time talking about the kids and what movies we're going to watch and things like that. And all the people in our orderly room knew that on Sundays, Sergeant Grier and Sergeant LeVan Rapp was going to go to the diner and we had to have our hot chocolate with the whipped cream on top. So they said, well, why we can't go? We said, just for the NCOs. We got to go and digress from the other group of people. So they understood, but we had some good times. We had some good times.
Daughters had the same birthday?
Huh? I just said the same thing. Yes, my daughters had the same birthday. We had a chance to go out to the house and get in the swimming pool, and Denise is very patriotic. So one of her daughters is born on 4th of July, so she has it all, the whole house is decorated with 4th of July and everything. So we do have a good time, and it is a family, and that's why I'm so pleased to have everybody here, because those who are here are the ones that's supposed to be here. And so, and I know that the ones that wanted to be here, wherever they are in their hearts, I know they're here with me today. And so, Sergeant Tripp, she's a traditional reservist. She just recently separated from the military, but that's my baby, and she's sitting there. She came aboard, she was doing some orders, and she'd come in, and we sit down and talk and everything, and just keep her on the right track. Erin Edwards Young, she was another one that came on, stand up. and they were so nice. I called them, I said, I need your help. And they said, Son, whatever it is that you want me to do, I'm there. So I really appreciate it. Then we got Sergeant Kennedy. She wants to be a civilian today, but she was behind the scenes. Stand up, Lisa. And you helped me get it all together. And she did not hesitate to say, hey, whatever it was that you need me to do, I'm here for you. And so my sister in Christ, my mom, my best friend, and things like that. She's the godmother of the twins. Senior Master Sergeant retired, Liz Washington. That was a wonderful prayer, awesome prayer, and I know, you know, God has touched her so much that she just found it, you know, in her to say, hey, do you have a godmother for the children? I said, no.